Hello, welcome back to another episode of Hijinks and Dungeon World. An actual play Dungeon World live stream with QueueTimes.
On bikes.
You got through it.
I got through it. If this is your first time joining us, this is a continuous mini-series. This is episode 20, so we made
Wow.
it. This is episode 20.
Hey.
That was always our goal, so I hope we have a pretty good finale already here.
Yeah, William, you ready to wrap it up?
I am ready to wrap it up.
Okay, great.
And then we'll move on to episode 21.
Right.
So if this is your first time
The
joining us,
epilogue to the finale.
check out the rest of the episodes on the QueueTimes main YouTube channel on a playlist called Hijinks and Dungeon World. You can also find that playlist with bit.ly/Dunjinks, capital D, lowercase UNJINKS. We were previously and will return to being a Kids on Bikes campaign with the proper name Hijinks and Handlebars. That has about 50 episodes backlogged on the QueueTimes main YouTube channel. So you can find that in a playlist called Hijinks and Handlebars. And you can also find that playlist with bit.ly/Handlestream, capital H, capital S. That is using the Kids on Bike system, as I said. And that's sort of like Stranger Things, but for tabletop. So if that interests you at all, go watch the rest of the Dungeon World miniseries. And then if you still love us and you love the chemistry and you want more of us, there are 50 episodes of the other series to go to. And that will continue at some other point. Next, I want to get some thank yous out at the top. I want to thank QueueTimes for hosting us and for making sure that everything on the back end is working all right. Especially Jake for all of the work that you put into this and all the other QueueTimes shows. Essentially, everything we do probably would not exist or be in a different form, a drastically different form if it wasn't for Jake and everything that QueueTimes does. So thank you so much. I want to thank Hunters Entertainment for publishing Kids on Bikes and for also giving me a backpack and some dice that are Kids on Bikes branded. I want to thank my cast and everybody who is watching. I want to thank the artists who have done work for us over the past couple-ish years for our shows. Our very own Tanimeto here, Chris, did a lot of the art, the original overlay that this overlay is based on. You can find all of Chris's work and even some music and some animated music videos and stuff on his YouTube channel and also on Twitter and Instagram at Tanimeto, TANIMAYTO. I also want to thank Shan Murphy on Twitter for doing a basic character, little plot design thing for the main characters from the Kids on Bikes campaign, proper Hijinks and Handlebars. You can find images of that on our Instagram and our Twitter and everything. But you can find Shan's work on Twitter at Hey Shan Murphy, HEYSHAN MURPHY. I also want to thank Shannon for our Arc 3 poster for Hijinks and Handlebars. You can find Shannon's work on Instagram at Shanyon Canyon. That's SHANYONCANYON. And then finally, Sarah Baker, who did our town map for Bald, which is the town that our Hijinks and Handlebars Kids on Bikes campaign takes place in. It's really beautiful. It's wonderful. I think it's still our pinned image, our pinned tweet on Twitter. So if you go to our Twitter and Instagram, which is at Handlestream, you can check that stuff out. And all of the other artwork that I've mentioned, it's really beautiful. And the artists did just phenomenal, incredible jobs on everything. We are spoiled with the artists that we've gotten to work with. And especially the one that we get to play with and who is our very good friend.
We work with every week.
But you can check out that, the town map, and also Sarah's work at SDAV Baker, SDAVBAKER. Cool. This is about 99.98% improvised. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be saying. I don't know what my players are going to be saying. So some things might come up that you might find uncomfortable or possibly triggering. And if that is the case, I want you to shut the stream off, or if you're watching this on YouTube, just close the video, close the window, do whatever you have to do to make sure that you are safe, you are comfortable. We're just playing a game here. Everything you've got going on is way more important than what we are doing. That said, we're not going out of our way to make you uncomfortable. We're not trying to be edgy. In fact, we're doing the opposite. We are trying to make this as comfortable and accessible of a narrative in a space as possible. That said, some things might not be offensive, but you personally might still find either, traumatic or triggering in some way. So just be careful. Things that have happened in the past, we've had elements of like drowning, people being set on fire, claustrophobia, people being dipped in acid, a lot of like, fantasy violence, and a little touching on gore, just a little bit, but not too far. Because there are several of us who are not too keen on gore ourselves. So don't worry about that too much. But with all that, just be safe, be careful, do what you have to do for yourself. We also have a tip jar, !coin in the Twitch chat. And that is a direct and actionable way to give money to the casts and the people who do the shows on QueueTimes. Last thing I want to say before we get into our introductions, last two things. We have some people who watch the show. I don't know how in depth I can get on this. We'll talk more about it later, and I'll announce it when they announce it. But they're starting a podcast, and I'm very excited about it. So when that happens in the future, whenever that may be, no pressure. You don't have to get on it anytime soon. But I'm very excited for it, and
Me too.
I'm very stoked.
I just heard about it tonight, and I'm already so excited.
The other thing I wanted to mention, which Franny brought to my attention, and I do really want to shout this out, is Matt. Matt is getting into voice acting. Matt is Henchman Ray here in the Twitch chat. Hi. And there is a new Twitter specifically for the voice acting and everything, and you should give that a follow. It's at Matt Adams VA. MattAdamsVA. So check that out.
Just this is so much more about like my brain than you, but when you spelled it, it became harder for me to like read in my brain.
Yeah, Matt Adams VA. It's very easy, actually. Matt Adams VA. Cool. Okay. Hello, Caring Lizard in the chat. Hello, Henchman Ray. Oh.
Henchman Ray.
Cool. Cool.
Cool.
I don't see him yet.
And everyone else who is watching. I am William, they, them, and I am the GM for Hijinks and Dungeon World.
My name is Jonas, they, them, and I play Dowser, the Salamander Immolator, he, him.
Hi, I'm Spencer LaBelle, they, them. I'll be playing Denial, the Eladrin Thief, he, him.
Hi, I'm Sam Richardson, he, him, and I am playing Ladislas, the half-elven druid, who's currently using she, her pronouns, but is gender fluid, so might change at any moment.
Hello, I'm Franny, she, her, and I play Brenner, the human paladin, who is they, them.
And I'm Chris Taniguchi, he, him, playing Dindin, the pelican daddy fighter.
Great. Cool. Well, this is Dungeon World. This is the end of the world. That's what this campaign is. Our group has found themselves in the midst of the end of the world, thrown into it, some of them trying to escape it alive and others trying to escape it alive while also saving the world, and others wanting to save the world first and foremost. So far, our heroes have encountered a dragon they named Carl, a Gambador the Grump wizard, a dragon turtle named Zaz, a city of Way with a king with no crown named Hugo, and a knight with a crown named Raquel. And then they switched kingliness and crownliness. Then further along, they met a keeper of the river, Rendell. Further into the mountains, into the Giant's Pass, they met the half-giant Garbanzo, who was the keeper of the pass. And then entered into the living cave designed by Landor, the gnome, and have now made it through to the other side to continue their journey. But more specifically, what happened last time on Hijinks and Dungeon World?
Dungeon World.
What happened last time on Dungeon World? We have a theme song now. Last time on Dungeon World. So, everybody, we were still in the living cave. You all had just encountered a couple of these heads with tendrils and everything, and they were rushing right towards you. At the start, you were all going to fight, defend, do whatever you were going to do. The newly formed stone chimera gargoyle version of Ladislas, rushed into battle, but misjudged what she had going on with the whole new body thing and ran directly into the wall on the other side, sticking her head in the wall and being all sorts of stuck. Panicked and then started an earthquake. The rest
It's not great.
It was not great. The rest of the family attempted to beat up and defeat these tendrily head things. Dowser unfortunately got blasted the ceiling open and got sucked into the ceiling by what? Surprise! More of the tendrils. Brenner tried to throw the halberd. It got sucked into the ceiling as well. Danail and Dindin did some tag team combat sort of scenario situation thing, cut up some of these tendrils, did some good work. And then Brenner finally was able to charm all of the tendrils and keep them steady for a moment as Dowser fell out of the ceiling, crashed into the ground, gripping the halberd. They all made their way over to Ladislas, who was still thrashing about in the wall, calmed Ladislas down, got Ladislas out of the wall, but Ladislas, in the period of like still panic and everything, made the earthquake real bad, and it filled the entire living cave as far as they could tell. They exited the room, could still feel the earthquake, could feel it and hear it through every single corridor and crevice and hall, and were met at a tea. Dowser was seeming a little more sour towards Ladislas.
I think stale.
Stale, yeah.
Stale.
And in a fit started heading south down this hallway because
First they're stale, then they're sour.
What a
then
terrible
they're
name.
Dowser.
Sour.
Dow sour. That's pretty
That's a
good.
classic John original.
Yeah.
I was able to read it right as they posted it.
Dow
So,
sour. Wow.
That's Dowser's evolution.
Dindin grabbed on to Dowser, however, and moved everybody north. They came across a room that seemed completely fine. Danail set up to do some dispel magic that he pretty much could just do at this point on this magic here. Broke down that magic barrier, but then Brenner saw that the floor was actually just a pool of acid, and they were all about to step into their doom. They were debating on what way to go. There were 2 doorways in this room to go through afterwards. Saw a place, a doorway across that they all decided like that's the way we're going to go, because the doorway to the left, they had already been in that room before and it led to nowhere. So they were trying to get across to the other side. Brenner tried to part the acid sea and succeeded in parting it, but it was very deep and just like ended up making like a big U, like with the acid. But it was up on the walls and everything, and it was so close to working. They eventually just tied a rope to Danail's ankle, and Dindin launched Danail across the room. In the episode, Sam, while the roll was happening, Sam said like, "Oh, this can go so bad," and I was like, in my head, I was like, "Yes, it could. It can go so bad." But they rocked it, and Danail, like while soaring through the air, managed to get off a dispel magic. Breaking the barrier on the boundary of the doorway that he was sailing towards, opening it up completely, just shattering the magic, and tying off the rope so that everybody could get all the way across. Ladislas was still a giant stone chimera, but turned into a tiny stone monkey, lemur, and was able to crawl across that way. As they passed through the doorway, there was only one way further out, and it was a stairway that led up, and they all charged. When they broke through the barrier up into the top of the stairway, they were in a giant like egg-shaped dome sort of room with a deep purple crystal hovering in the middle. They tried to get past it. It expelled some magic energy that bisected the room, stopping them from moving any further. It was basically like shielding them from getting out. Then some knights came out of the crystal, some like wispy spirit knights. And it became clear to everyone that this crystal had manifested itself like from the living cave as like a separate construct of a construct to like sort of as a final maneuver to stop people from being able to get through. Because that was like the living cave as a construct. That was its job.
God creates man creates construct, construct creates construct.
Construct creates construct.
Go ahead.
Construct creates construct.
Construct rules the world.
Construct creates man.
They battled these they battled these knights for that's how the world started. That's
Man creates God.
that is Dungeon World. Man creates God, exactly. They battled these knights for a little while, tied them up, and then Danail used a new sort of arcane blade work siphoning technique, channeling the siphoning runes that he had been carrying around, and stabbed into the crystal and began sucking the souls out from inside of it. Ladislas tried to also go over and like completely dissolve the scale to destroy it, and set all the souls free. But Danail was like, "No, I want it.
I want it.
It's mine.
I want
sister.
it." So they just like calmed it down. Danail grabbed the crystal. The shield came down, and as it fell to the ground with Danail, this crystal, the dome around them dissolved and was blown away by the wind. And in front of them, you all see an army with a little blue lizard at the front of it.
How little?
About your size.
About
Dowser.
my size. Can you be more specific? I have my spectacles on.
Probably like maybe like a couple inches shorter.
Okay. Dowser walks forward to the front of his family, and just like how far away from us is this army before we move at all?
You are about like a football field's length away. It's like 100 yards. As you start moving at all, you all start feeling like a rumbling again. When you had entered the dome room, it had sort of like subsided because you were no longer like underground. But now that rumbling is returning. And behind you, you start hearing quaking and like breaking. And it is a violent shift that starts happening. And you can feel it underneath your feet. The ground around you is not caving in, but the ground behind you is. And if you all were to turn around, you would see, as I've described before, this cave goes underground, and there are plains and a forest. You were when you entered on the side of the plains. You are now on the side of the forest. This is a forest that had no name, but is now named the
Great Dowser Forest.
The Great Dowser Forest in front of you, and it's incredibly like dead. Like nobody survives that.
Just like me.
Right in front of you, you now see the newly named the Great Dowser Forest crumble into the ground below. You hear the screams and haunting just bellows of the very awful creatures that were inside of that forest, like falling into the living cave below. It appears as though Ladislas has unsettled the very earth that was this construct, and it is demolishing just before your eyes. As the forest breaks, your eye line is clear. You can practically see all the way to the other end where you had entered the cave, but that's not what catches your attention. What catches your attention is up in the perpetual happy storm of excitement and fun that is above the plains and the forest. There is a sweeping, gigantic shadow that is moving on all of you very quickly. And just as it gets within sight, it breaks the clouds and the lightning and the storm that no one should actually be able to get through. And you see Carl.
Carl! Dowser yells very excitedly.
Wait a minute. What about Nikki D? Did you just say the living cave completely crumbled to the ground?
I did say that.
I want to say, as this stuff is like crumbling, William, like Dowser he was like walking fairly slowly. When the world like started very clearly falling apart around him, he's actually booking it straight for the exit, and then even faster when he sees his old friend Carl. Plans to just run straight out of the cave.
You're out of the cave. You're
okay. We got out of the
you're
cave.
up on the top surface. You're out.
Gotcha. Yeah, then I'm running towards Novre.
Running towards Novre, which is like through the army and the lizard and everything. Cool.
Just as a reminder, which magnificent monster is Carl?
It's the dragon from it's the apocalypse dragon from the very beginning.
Oh shit. Okay.
That
Fun.
Brenner sang too.
Mm-hmm.
Why
And
are you
it's
so
about to
happy?
begin.
We gotta go.
It's Carl.
I'm picking
Carl.
Brenner up.
Oh, Carl.
And I'm-
Oh, Carl!
The
I'm
army
like,
the army starts falling in line and rushing towards all of you. Dowser, you will be the first to meet them. This blue lizard at the front of them is at the head of the charge, and is forming out of her mouth. Flame is appearing into her hand, and it is in the shape of a sword, and she is like guiding it forward, calling for this army to follow her. And when I say army, it couldn't be more than like 70 people. It's
Sure.
like, but
A
they
militia,
are
maybe.
it's like a militia, but and they like their armor and everything, it's like dishes. It's like pots and pans that they've like covered themselves in, and they all have like makeshift like homemade weapons, and people have like pitchforks and like shovels that they've grinded down into spears and that kind of thing. So that's what you are seeing.
You're unknowingly referencing one of my favorite George R.R. Martin short stories, and I appreciate it, and I just want to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Dowser like kind of skids to a stop in the snow. I think like if possible within the narrative, like 20 feet away from the blue lizard, just sort of like face to face.
Yeah.
And Dowser is just going to try to lock eyes with her and initiate a staring contest.
Yeah.
Not look away, not blink, just stare her straight in the eyes.
As soon as you do that, she stops, and while all the militia like continues like past her, they just like separate, so that like that clear line of sight is like just on you and her.
Cool.
Sam, you were going to say something.
Oh, I just got I have a name recommendation for the Snovray force, the Ramshackle Militia.
The Ramshackle Militia. I'm a
Beautiful.
fan. The Ramshackle Militia.
Meanwhile, I'm running.
Named for General Ramshackle.
Yes.
General
I'm running
Ramsey
in-
Ramshackle.
I'm running in to try and like snap Dowser out of it and defend him if he needs it. Ramshackle.
Sorry, I'm typing. Okay, you're running into snap Dowser out of it. Is that what you said?
Mhm.
What'd you call me?
Barky bark.
Bark again, and I swear.
Okay.
I
it's
swear to
very
God.
hard to reach down. But yeah, I'm running in to try and snap Dowser out of it, and I'm preparing a defense.
When you say try to snap Dowser out of it, what are you doing to Dowser?
I'm yelling at Dowser and trying to stop like this weird little like staring contest he's doing.
Cool. Dowser will absolutely do his best to not let that happen. Stop
Yeah.
the contest.
Okay. So the snapping Dowser out of it doesn't work, but I prepared a defense with 11 plus 3, so 14.
Damn.
Dowser, so 14. Cool. So you get your 3 hold. Dowser.
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle this because I built this as a character, but I do want to give you an out here. So here's how I'm going to do this. Lupe has a move that I'm going to use on you right now.
Okay.
I'm going to roll, and I want you to roll Defy Danger.
Cool.
Is it going to be like
that I can't see happening?
It is not something you can see happening.
Okay.
No.
Then can I roll like charisma?
Yes.
Does that make sense? Given
Charisma
my
makes
current action?
perfect sense.
Cool. Good. Then it is a 10.
Okay. Well, I got a 13.
Okay.
Oh.
So we both completely succeeded.
Hmm.
Hey.
So I'm using Hypnotic Presence. When you stare into an intelligent creature's eyes,
I know the one.
Roll plus charisma on a 10 plus. A single creature is
I'm
awestruck
thinking of something else.
and will not act unless it is actually harmed. So
that honestly, does Lupe meet my gaze
yes,
and is also staring into my eyes?
yes,
And I can't not stare into her eyes?
yes.
This is perfect. Thank you.
So will not act unless it is actually harmed. So you're just both going to be standing there.
Yep. Literally, it doesn't look like anything happened to Dowser, I don't think. It was technically his plan.
And then you hear Lupe. I'm just going to say Lupe now. We all know. What am I talking about? You hear Lupe yell out to the ramshackle militia, "Take your stances!" And they split
Oh,
off.
we got another one. We got another one.
No.
We got a live one, folks.
You see
We need
them,
an all Dowser
you.
campaign.
you see them split off into trenches that are on the sides of this like pathway that is leading from the living cave to Novre, and you can see Novre from here. It is like a flat like distance to it. It's still like a good, probably like 1,000 feet away, but you can see it because there's a huge snow-covered tower that is like centered sort of in the middle of that city over there. Well, like probably a small like town of like huts and everything. Carl completely falls down into ground level. You begin to feel the change of the wind from the just the flapping of his wings, and then you feel a heat. When you appeared out of the other side of this living cave, it was colder than you had probably ever been. And suddenly you feel like you are in spring. The snow around you immediately begins to melt. You start to see the ground. People in Novre probably are seeing the ground for the first time in their lives.
William, why are you making everything so good for Dowser right now?
What do you do?
Nothing.
I know what Dowser's doing. I know what Din Din is doing. I want to know what Danail, Ladislas, and Brenner are doing.
Between an army and a dragon is not where I want to be, so I'm casting invisibility.
I love that book. Love that book.
Between an
Yep.
army and a dragon.
My favorite Hobbit chapter.
I think Brenner is about to become a dragon whisperer.
Brenner!
And
The
is
fate that
going-
was always.
Old habits
Sorry,
die
sorry,
hard, huh,
Franny.
Brenner?
this is really the reason why Brenner was born.
Was to one day talk to one dragon.
To handle dragons. Yeah, I think Brenner is just, and maybe foolishly, perhaps this is naive of Brenner, but for some reason Brenner is not scared at all of Carl. And so I think you're just gonna kind
Why would
of
you be? He's so cute.
what, huh?
Why would you be? He's so cute.
Brenner's gonna walk right up to Carl, and Carl permitting.
Carl is still flying and like it is like bounding towards all of you.
Okay, so
Oh
I
my
think
God.
then Brenner is like trying to dig their feet into the ground to not like blow away. But Brenner starts humming.
Okay.
All I'll say is I don't have enough arms for this shit.
Ladislas, what are you doing?
William, do you remember right before we went into the living cave right before we went like into these mountains, when I sent Srogi off to get the rest of his group?
Yes.
My family is in danger. We are trapped between a dragon and an oncoming army, and I would like them to get us out of here.
This is literally Lord of the Rings, right? Didn't this happen like exactly?
Yeah, remember the time the dragon destroyed Minas Dragon Teeth?
Minas Dragon Teeth.
Minas
I
Dragon
started
Teeth.
yelling and singing to the dragon while running.
Especially William, I don't know. Again, like Ladislas has no idea whether Srogi has managed to contact the rest of his clan and whether they are willing to help us at all. So if Ladislas is going to kind of put their fingers in their mouth and whistle as loud as she can, and if there are not enough of them to get all of us out, Ladislas wants to focus on Brenner, who seems to have a death wish with this dragon, as far as Ladislas knows.
More of a love wish, honestly.
So you don't have to do like a roll for this because actually you did that. You rolled for this last episode.
Yeah.
There was like a bit of like a tension in my mind because there was no way to get through the living cave and there was no way to get over it and there was no like anything like that. But the living cave is no more. And as you whistle, you look across this like open, like this crater basically that was once like the living cave, straight forward, just past Carl, who is like bounding towards all of you. And there is a faint outline of several creatures speedily flying towards all of you, just off of the ground, like below where Carl is. And they appear to be closing the gap between themselves and Carl, and will possibly be able to get to all of you before Carl does, or would be able to get to Carl, like to all of you before Carl got to you physically. Unfortunately, what is happening right now is Carl's entire body begins to it's this like dark, like charcoal sort of, very like deteriorated kind of body. And you see like in between the scales, they start like bursting like a little bit, like flexing out. And you see fire, like this dark fire beginning to emanate entirely.
I want to do something immediately.
Okay.
I would like to resolve a roll real quick because if you missed it, I got a 5.
You got a 5.
I didn't just do it. I got it a 5. And I just want to throw out. So I want to paint this picture of how I think Danail is also trying to cast it not just on himself, but on this crystal, because that's part of what's going through his mind is not only do I need to get out of here, I need to get us out of here, and I need to get this out of here. And I think in kind of in the back of his mind, drawing from the magic on it, I accidentally kind of supercharge my invisibility. So if you've ever seen in like Rick and Morty or anything where there's like a big like teleportation and it's just a massive radius and it just like cleanly cleaves through the ground in like a circular motion, like the entire ground goes invisible. And like all these militia just like see the trench disappear and just see this down and see they're just standing on air. And then Danail is like, oh shit, overcompensates. And then like it just splashes back in this like pool of light before going back to normal.
Sick. Hell yeah.
And I'm just like,
you wanted to act immediately, Ladislas?
Ladislas is seeing this fire welling up inside this dragon, and instinctually, in this moment, is going to try to call on the primal spirit of fire to try to trap the fire inside of the dragon's body. Or redirect it into its body, rather.
Okay.
And that is a 4 plus 3, a 7. On a 7 and 9, I choose one of the following 3. The effect I desire comes to pass. I avoid paying nature's price, and I retain control. And I'm going to pick the effect I desire comes to pass.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to say it. It does not.
Oh, no.
This isn't nature's fire. This is hell's fire. And the dragon opens its mouth. And as it breathes out,
wait, can Brenner?
all of you roll Defy Danger. Brenner, this is where you would do your thing.
Okay. Oh God.
Can I roll? Can I roll luck?
If you are in active danger, you can.
Okay.
The hypnosis only works until you're like
Okay, cool.
until you're actually going to be in danger.
Cool. Then
And that's on a mixed success, by the way. On a full success, you would
Yeah.
stay frozen until you got hit.
cool.
But because
is until you're
you
about to be hit.
because you got a 10 plus on your defy
Oh,
danger,
sure.
I lowered it to a mixed
Cool.
success.
I'm gonna roll dexterity, and I'm not sure exactly which way I'm gonna move because I have a question for you before I get to that point. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna roll Constitution because I am to will myself out of this unless I'd be Wisdom because it's a mental thing. But
I think Constitution or Wisdom would work on this. It's it's not like a magical effect. It's
Sure.
hypnosis.
Sure.
So yeah.
So reasonably, I could either think my way out of it or just pull myself out of
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna pull myself out of it. That was just gonna tighten himself up and regain control. That is 8.
I want to know Brenner's roll first.
I want to cry.
No.
Ultimate fail of fails.
You got a 1/1?
1/1 plus 2.
No.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Okay, so we've got a complete fail on Brenner. You got an 8, Dowser.
Mhm. Actually, if it's 2 1s, it's called an epic fail in this game.
Yes, I forgot. Yes. Danail.
I'm rolling with strength, which is not my forte, so I can make sure I can heft this crystal and run with it as I hook a sharp left. Fortunately, with my bonus of +0, I got a 10.
Din Din.
I got an 8 con, and I'm gonna add in defense of Dowser probably too. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you spend your hold on this, by the way.
Okay.
So
Totally.
whatever you want to do. Dowser, it's a Ladislaus. What did you end up with?
I also got an 8 Constitution.
Okay, so Danail.
Oh, and also I'm no longer in control, and I have to pay nature's price. So.
Yeah, Danail, you book it just you take a hook a hard left out of there, and you jump just as this black hellfire just sweeps across the ground. You can see the militia members just to the side of you in this trench. Actually, all are lifting up shields and covering the trench entirely. And it seems like they are doing okay. Dowser,
yes,
and Ladislaus and Brenner and Denden.
Yeah.
You see this, and you feel the heat before it even touches you. Denden, what would you like to do? I'm
definitely not gonna use the hold that is forward against attacker. I'm not fighting that thing. But
I will say you have 3 hold. You can use a different hold for each person. I mean, just as an example, you could redirect everybody's damage to you. You could have 3 people's damage. You could there's plenty that I just want you to know you have possibilities here.
Okay.
Or you can spend it all on one person.
I am going to redirect Brenner and Dowser's damage to me, and I'm going to try and half it.
Okay.
And so God, it doesn't look cool at all. It is a struggle to get Brenner behind him, and I can't move Dowser. And I just realized I have to stand in front of it with my shield and do the best I can.
So you are going to take Brenner and Dowser's, and you're going to have that damage.
Yeah.
Ladislas, you were about to get like the brunt of all of this. And also, Brenner, you and Ladislas both start like immediately feeling a tugging. And it's very swift. Ladislas, you're picked up by Strogi.
Yeah.
And flown directly out of the path of the fire. Dindin, you using your shield block as much of this hellfire as possible from hitting your kids. But this is a huge, violent dragon. You are not coming out unscathed. You are going to take 14 damage, ignore armor.
That would kill me.
I'm down. Yeah, that knocks me out.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Brenner and Dowser, you are whisked away.
And that was a success, so I can't even do anything about it.
You are whisked away by this large bird humanoid-like creature that mythology has deemed the Eagle Lord.
I need. Did you say Ladislas and Brenner or Dowser and Brenner?
Dowser and Brenner.
Okay, I need to ask my question before I am moved.
Okay.
So when I did the staring contest, it wasn't just a staring contest. Dowser was asking a question.
Okay.
And that question was invoking the move, give me fuel, give me fire. When you gaze intensely into someone's eyes, you may ask their player, what fuels the flames of your desire? They'll answer with the truth, even if the character does not know, or would otherwise keep this hidden. And I think, unless you have reasons otherwise, I think it is fair to say that Lupe has the option of probably invoking the same move against Dowser. But Dowser is for sure doing that and asking that question of Lupe.
Just repeat the question one more time.
What fuels the flames of your desire? And this is even if the character doesn't know or would otherwise keep it hidden.
What you receive is a need to save the world.
As I'm being scooped, Dowser wants to try to grab Lupe and bring her up with us.
Lupe is running past you directly into the flame. You have a chance to grab her if you want.
I'm going to go dexterity. I think I have to be quick on this one.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to call out, Dowser! And I'm going to roll charisma.
Okay.
And try to get her attention. That is a 9 + 2, 11.
Damn.
Also rolled dexterity and gotten a 10.
You see just the determination in her eyes is like as you see the reflection of the flame in those eyes, like that is like coming right towards her, and she's ready to take it head on. But as you like scream that out, like she shakes for a moment and reaches up a hand just as you're passing by.
And I grab her with bows and just like pull her up.
Dindin, you open your eyes to a river. A nice, tranquil, quiet river in front of you. You can feel the soil in your hands, the slight moist ground below you. And a fog-like mist starts to pour over the river, headed in your direction. What you see in front of you is indescribable. It is like seeing your own death played on repeat all at once, millions and millions of times. It is like feeling every death you could have ever had, every moment of your life when something went wrong or there might have been an accident, every time you escaped death and every time in the future where you would have met it, you are feeling and seeing it all right now. and it stalls in front of you. The fog, the mist, kissing your skin as light moisture drips down your beak. It reaches out a hand, beckoning you to come along. Roll 2d6.
I accidentally rolled one. I'm gonna keep it.
Must have been bad.
Oh, yeah.
8.
I don't remember how this move works.
On a 7 to 9, Death will offer you a bargain. Take it and stabilize, or refuse and pass beyond the black gates into whatever fate awaits you. Death doesn't speak initially, but retracts its hand and puts up one thin, jagged finger. I want a soul, a very particular soul. Do you think that you could get it for me?
If it's not my kids, you could have any soul you want.
You feel a smile, but you don't even see one. You will know when it is time to deliver. And you wake up on the ground, stabilized at 1 hit point. Carl flies past all of you. The Eagle Lord is carrying Dowser and Brenner and Lupe off to the side near one of the trenches. There are other eagles and large winged beasts that are following in line as well. They swoop down and immediately pick up Din Din off of the ground, flying him over to the rest of the family. They dip you down into one of the trenches, and the militia people in the trench toss some shields over to you, and they're large, like
Tower shields.
Yeah, tower shields. So like when they put them up, and they can like lock in pretty much anything from getting into the trench. And one of the militia people just like shouts at you to, like, as soon as you see that fire starting up again, like put up the shields and you should be fine. And then you see a couple of them like do a quick salute to Lupe. All of you are now over here. Lupe is with you. Dowser, Brenner, all of you are here. And off towards Novre, coming from the tower, you start seeing a swirling, like, magical storm emitting from the top of the tower. And all of you have seen like enough of this, and especially the magic users, you can tell like this is not even remotely close to the magic that the cult members have been using. But this is a huge spell. This is a ritual. One that especially you, Danail, know would have taken weeks, at least like weeks to prepare, at least 2 weeks for this to happen, and would need a very high level magic user to be able to complete.
Would the timeline roughly line up that could logically be a reaction to the initial vortex in the sky being torn open?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Smart.
You are all here. In the background, Carl continues like descending on Novre. being like sort of batted off by these large mechanisms. These what are those called? Where they like fling stuff? Catapults. What's the other name? Trebuchets and catapults and all these things like that again. Like
Scorpion?
You can kind of see. Yeah, sure. you can kind of see like some of the ones that are closer to you that have sort of closed the gap between Novray and you. Again, these are very like makeshift. Like some of them seem like they may just be barely hanging on, and they're flinging just these flaming, huge like towels full of like silverware and knives and stuff just at this thing, and anything heavy that they can light on fire and shoot the way of the dragon. All of you are next to each other. Din Din, you are up, you are awake, but you're not feeling good at all. What do you all do?
I think immediately Brenner goes to Din Din. Quiet tears, like silent sobbing, just like streaming down their face, and Brenner puts their hands on Din Din and I want to heal.
Oh God, his feathers.
I want to follow and just like, can I?
He's completely naked, like a ball, like no feathers. Like
I want to. Can I roll aid on this if I'm like defending Brenner with the shield so that they can just focus on the healing?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. I'd also love to be involved with this if there's some way for that to happen.
I'm all right. I'm all right with all of you rolling aid. That's okay with me.
Okay, but let us know what you roll, Brenner. And
yeah, what'd you end up with?
I got an 8.
An 8.
Okay, I got a 7.
Okay, so all right. So you will give a +1, but you'll open yourself up to some danger.
Let's see.
So that brings you to a 9.
What is aid plus?
Plus bond.
Also, just to verbalize this, I'm moving Din Din from a +2 to a +1 since I have a +2 slot open, and he did just save my life, and he is my dad.
Wait, a +1
+1
to
to a +2. I mean,
okay,
sorry.
okay.
2 a +2 from a
yeah,
+1.
seeing my dad die just really made me hate him.
I'm just like, damn.
All the times he sucked, you know.
Even if I have a +2 with Din Din, that is a failure.
A complete failure?
Complete failure.
Okay. So that's going to end up at a 9, unless unless you wanted to also roll aid.
Then yeah, I suppose
It's
I
a
have to
very rare circumstance where I'm letting all of you roll aid because it just feels right.
Yeah.
You know?
The power of love.
Cool. Yeah, what I'm actually going to do and how I'm justifying my aid is I'm going to be taking rags and I'm going to be pouring some healing potion that we have, so that can also like kind of be used as like a poultice and start like kind of applying it onto his back, as well as seeing what other like see if I have some distilled aloe somewhere that I can kind of, you know, use something to alleviate the burn and inflammation. That's a 5. Which would you say we have a +2 for mixed success? Maybe, I don't know.
+2
with
with either Din Din or Brenner, you have pretty good bond. So I'm not. Yeah, I think that
then that's a 7.
Okay, so you end up with a 10.
Okay.
But Dowser and Danail are opening themselves up to danger, and I will deal with Ladislas in a moment. Cool. Roll 2d8 for your healing.
Oh, that's what I always forget.
Ladislas has stepped in it this episode.
I would have thought it would be very funny if like the power of love happened and everybody got a failed roll. Just like
with the power of love, and you all die.
The power of love is a failure.
12.
12. Great.
If you want to kill our dad, you'll have to kill me first.
Is it added to it for hospitality too, or is that what makes it 2d8?
No, that's what makes it 2d8. Yeah.
Cool.
So like Din Din like was down and then like kind of like jolts up basically in shock, I think.
And I think Brenner just kind of engulfs you in a hug, still kind of body shaking with sobbing, and repeat, I'm sorry, Dad, I'm sorry.
You're so brave, Dad. So strong.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't run off. And then he collapses back, kind of out of exhaustion, I think.
Yeah. Dowser and Danail.
Who's in charge here?
Well,
sir.
Lupe actually like comes forward like towards you, Danail, like walking like right up to you, very, very fiercely. It is me. I am in charge here.
Well, okay, so we can settle
Okay,
that.
Blue Dasher.
Just let in then, okay.
No, I'm in charge.
Dad is in charge.
I'm in charge.
Listen to Dad.
Lupe is in charge.
You just got here. How could you be in charge of anything?
Well, you are Dowser.
Go to the trench.
You are Dowser, are you not?
Dowser.
I just got here. You just got here.
Dowser's got the point.
Lupe has a point.
Fair. Points all around. Maybe everyone get in the trench.
This is very difficult to take in right now.
Dowser,
Dowser.
I need your attention.
Hmm?
You are the flame,
Yes. Yes.
and I am the dragon.
Hmm?
I am your vessel.
What?
What?
I am here. I was in search of you. I went into the world. They tried to rid me from the world, but I was able to make it out. And now I am here to help you.
Din Din jolts up. He looks at Dowser. Is this your sister?
No.
Yeah.
No. Wait.
And then Dowser, one by one. And your sister. And your sister. And your sister.
We are all siblings.
No, she's not.
how it
No,
works.
hang on. No, just
How it works.
what?
We are siblings.
I have another child.
Can you go back to the part where you said you're the dragon?
I'm the dragon.
So you just tried to kill our dad.
No. What? No. I'm
Different
not that dragon. I'm a dragon.
Actually, when Brennan makes that point, Dowser does like furrow his brows and then it's like,
Okay. All right. Sorry, I just needed to clarify.
What is the relationship between the dragon and the flame? What is this? This is
well,
first of all, two Dowsers.
Dowser.
One Dowser, one
Yeah,
Lupe.
you both sound exactly the same.
Here's the.
We sound very
You look exactly the same, except like 3 inches
I'm
shorter
blue.
and blue.
A very beautiful blue eye.
Who's getting
Is that
there?
Azul?
Yeah, well, thank you for noticing. Yes,
Yes.
there is like a zero.
Yes.
Here's the thing. None of this. We can draw lines and borders between who is Dowser, who is not Dowser, what is fire, what is not. It's all one big thing anyway. All of you are me, so what's the point in arguing?
I mean, you've always stressed that there's only one.
Yes. That's me.
That there is only one Dowser. I am Lupe.
Welcome to the
Then
family,
I'll
Lupe.
ask this, Lupe. What the fuck is Dowser?
Dowser is Dowser. What?
Dowser is Dowser, Danae.
Maybe Dowser can explain. Okay.
A lot of sauce.
So Ladislas, just quickly to recap, Ladislas has not avoided paying nature's price, has not retained control, and also just failed with a 6 at whatever she was trying to do.
Yeah, you Strogi is like carrying you, like and like was getting ready to set you down, but it's kind of like you haven't seen each other for a little while, so
Yeah.
But you start to your body starts to like engulf in flame, and you burn Strogi, and you get dropped immediately, and you're not very far off the ground, but you get dropped, and Strogi kind of like shudders and like out of fear, like flies up. Away from the fire for a moment. Doesn't seem like terribly harmed or anything, but is like hesitant for a moment and like staring down at you.
I don't know. This is new to me too. This is not how my magic's supposed to work.
When you hit the ground, you start melting away the snow that's around you as well. I mean, the remainder that is still kind of there that hasn't been like completely melted by Carl. And in fact, you start to light the ground on fire around you. With every step you take, you leave an imprint of fire. And Strogi's eyes turn from a fear to a concern, and Strogi starts like sort of flapping down back near you. And before you can say anything or do anything, this gust of wind smashes against all of you as Carl swings by and plucks Strogi out of the sky.
Ipsana?
Yeah,
Is there
yes.
anything I can pull out of my butt right now?
Well, okay, there's probably some stuff you can pull out of your butt, but it's but nothing okay.
Immediate,
Immediately.
Can I paralyze this dragon? Can we have Carl drop Strogi?
We could try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me what to do.
Say I am the law.
Oh yeah. Carl! And Brenner just like reaches out. Carl!
Don't bring it here. Don't bring it here, Brenner.
Ah!
Let it go. We take losses sometimes.
Balls their fist and like does one foot stamp and then the other foot stamp into the ground and shouts, "I am the law!"
Brenner, get back in the trench.
What does that exactly do?
Roll charisma 7+. Do what I say.
Okay, do it.
Oh my god.
You shout like a directive at it.
Yeah. Please, for the love of God. Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
Oh my god.
Did Strogi just die, or did we just save it?
Well,
No, 6.
6. Carl like blasts the wings to either side, and like while still like gripping Strogi, like turns, and other birds and like these huge like eagles and stuff are like still striking Carl from the sides, but it's like it just does not seem to be doing much.
Can I try again?
No. Carl turns completely, and like these things from the trebuchets and the catapults and everything keep just like barraging Carl from the side, like boom, boom, like. And
can I do?
Yeah. You can Carl, but but Carl actually comes down completely onto the ground for a moment, and with his wings, like it starts like sort of crawling towards you, dragging Strogi in his claws like behind, and comes directly right up in front of you. There is not but like 15 feet separating you, Brenner, and Carl.
I'm gonna the flew out of you, Carl. I think there's like Brenner's hair starts to lift up like static electricity. Just because Brenner is super mad right now. Yeah, and I'm gonna roll for Exterminatus.
So you're gonna do a hack and slash?
Hack and slash, yes.
Cool.
Oh my gosh. Please blow on these.
Wait. That one landed outside the thing. It doesn't count.
My hands are so sweaty right now. I'm so nervous.
Okay. Above average. Hey.
Okay. What's my hack and slash plus?
+2.
Okay.
Plus 2 strength.
12.
Now, when you choose which extra effect to take, just remember that this thing killed Dad.
With half damage.
Yeah.
So you can either deal extra damage or you can not receive damage in return.
Deal extra damage. We got this. We can just heal it. We can just heal it.
I'm gonna not take damage in return.
Okay.
We have healing potions, Brenner. Come on, get at it.
Can't drink if you're dead.
Stab it in the mouth.
Okay.
Says you.
Okay.
A D10 and 3 D4, I believe.
Perfect.
Here's a D4.
I got it. Oh, I got him this time.
All right.
I just want to point out that I think the really cool clause of Exterminatus is that even if you fail to defeat your opponent, that the effect persists.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I got 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
Plus 1, right, for the halberd?
Yeah, +1 for the halberd.
12 damage.
So 12 damage. Okay. Let me.
The dragon Carl just like loses a scale. It like slides off.
Well, you do a sizable amount of damage. I think you like. I mean,
Wait, did they just kill Carl?
no, Carl's fine.
Only
Carl,
11 damage is all it took to kill Carl?
No, it's
Oh
12.
my god.
But you do like you hurt Carl the dragon. You hurt the dragon, and it's like.
And Brenner's like dead-eyeing.
What
Carl.
exactly do you do?
Are you dad-eyeing, Carl?
Okay. Well, I just got an idea, and I don't know if this could be a thing, but I think it would be so cool if Brenner, if it was like 11 from Stranger Things, where it was almost like a, because I think Brenner was so mad
Oh, sure.
that it was like, I don't even know what you would call it, but just kind of like a energy thing.
Sure.
Almost.
Okay.
That did the damage, but I don't know if that.
It's like a pulse that just like knocks back Carl.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine with
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Cool.
I love how there have been a couple times where Brenner just has these like use the Force Jedi type vibes and how
I'm
they fight.
There. I'm
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get there.
Yeah. You knock Carl back. And Carl, like, from being hurt possibly for the first time since Carl has been in this plane of existence, shudders back and like wings like flapping from side to side, like kind of like scraping and like digging up like the ground around him. Releases Strogi. And Strogi doesn't fly away though. Strogi like just flops to the ground. And Carl flies back up away from you and then turns back and you see the fire, that black hellfire, start to expand inside of Carl.
Ladislas is running towards Srogi.
While Ladislas
I'm
is
running for Ladislas.
Same.
while they're all doing that, can I try I am the law again?
Wait. Sorry. I was going to say, no, I'm not. Dowser's not running for Ladislas. That's old Dowser. He wouldn't do that right now.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you can try I am the law again.
Okay.
Yeah. Ladislas, can you roll me Defy Danger?
Yeah, I think since Ladislas is literally running into the path of this fire, I think it is Constitution. Like, I don't think anything else makes sense.
Yeah, that's cool with me.
I think dexterity to try and
Well,
beat
my
it
Constitution
timing-wise.
is better, so.
Cool. I'm trying to beat Ladislas to Srogi, so I can like grab Srogi and drag them back.
7 + 1 and 8.
I just got. I believe we're calling it an epic fail.
One of those.
Y'all, we're not gonna make it to the next city.
You know, I think Spencer jinxed us by saying this is the last episode.
I wasn't the first one. Well, I might have been the first one to say that.
I did that.
What did you get for I am the law?
I got a. Wait. Did you...
I don't know.
It was
I
a mixed
think
success, I heard.
I got an 8.
An 8, yeah. Okay, so on a 7, I can't read. On a 7 plus. Oh, when you give an NPC an order based on your divine authority roll plus charisma.
Oh,
this is
right.
Yeah. We did say an NPC is when something that is not trying to kill you, but I will.
Whoopsies.
7 plus. Yeah, that's okay. They choose one. Do what you say. Back away cautiously, then flee or attack you. I'm okay because you kind of had like previously from one of the first episodes build like some sort of rapport with Carl.
And with what just happened, it's like if there's a time.
Sure. So you got an 8.
Mhm.
Okay. So they choose one.
What
are you telling Carl to do?
With a very surprising booming voice, like louder than anyone would expect a sound to come out of Brenner. Brenner says, "You will not hurt my family."
Hell yeah.
Carl stops cold for a moment. Ladislaus, you get to Strogi. And Danail, as you are running towards Strogi as well, Carl stops the fire breath inside of him, looking right at you, Brenner. Blows like a little bit of like exhaust, like smoke out of his nose as like sort of like a and then rears back his neck and chomps down, swallowing Danail whole. Carl then flies up into the air and begins to leave.
William, I want to try to do something.
Okay.
I'm gonna again try my elemental mastery. I want to pull the air.
Hey,
I want to.
I don't want to take the
air.
wind out of your sails real quick.
Oh, unless you have something to know.
I would like to do something.
Okay.
Go
for it.
I think there's definitely a moment of shock as everything goes black. But I'm going to try and just using the Void Edge technique to make a very messy strike. Before I get too deep down, I'm going to try and cut my way out.
I need a defy danger for you to even make the slash.
This feels like a constitution.
Yeah, I was thinking similar.
Sense.
If anything, it's just like, I mean, the amount of composure needed to be able to let me actually react here. Yeah.
Strogi did get to safety, right? Now that I'm
if I get like a fail or a mix, whatever happens, and then like I'm gonna pass that on to you, Sam. We're doing con. That's just a 9.
Well, then I'll give you a choice. You start feeling a heat coming from like the direction that you're being pulled towards in this like, and it's it's like something is like just the flesh inside of this dragon is pushing you like very quickly like down into what you assume to be its stomach, and that heat gets hot and hotter, and it is like becoming unbearable. The choice here is that you can go for the move right now. I'll let you do this, but I'm going to take your slash, or like what, I don't know exactly what you're doing, but whatever it ends up being, you have to roll with disadvantage, or you can get all the way into the stomach where you have more room to do your maneuver and roll normally, but you will incur damage. You will incur damage from the heat of the inside of this dragon.
I think it checks out to be swallowed up, and Danail has this moment of I'm not dead, but this is how I die, before he can rally anything. I would actually like to cut to Ladislaus before we try anything else, actually.
Ladislaus, you are down on the ground next to Strogi. Strogi is unconscious, but like I'm assuming you would check for a whatever a bird's pulse would be.
Yeah.
Strogi's alive, but it seems like Strogi has been crushed a little bit.
So not capable of flight, I'm guessing.
It might not for a little while, yes.
I can't let this dragon get away. And so I'm going to, using my elemental mastery, I'm going to create a vacuum beneath its wings. I'm going to remove the air from its wings.
Oh, interesting.
I want to send it crashing back to the surface. And this is, again, not what Ladislas wants, just what is happening when the magic comes out in this situation.
Yeah.
It's very The Witcher.
Yeah. I have not seen The Witcher.
It's very The Name of the Wind.
I've not read The Name of the Wind.
Can we keep that joke going?
That is a 7.
It's very Wheel of Time.
What do you choose?
The effect I desire comes to pass.
Carl crashes to the ground. You feel the body shake around you, Danail. It no longer is like pulling you any further down. You kind of stall. All of you see Carl just like hit the ground and is stopped. And immediately the militia people actually converge around Carl with bows and arrows and crossbows and stuff, and with rope like chain attached to them, and they shoot like volleying over and around Carl. Every single one of these like 70 or so, the 35 and 35 that were on either side are shooting to like around to the other sides. And this seems very, very well coordinated, very like well thought out. They aren't hitting each other as they're shooting to the other side. They're staggered in a way that seems like really, really methodical. And they are chaining Carl to the ground on the outskirts of Novre. Yes.
Is there like stone, like rock on the ground where the chains meet the ground?
Yes.
I want to run over and maybe just like I think grab Lupe to run with me and see if like she has the same instinct, but I want to, or even the same abilities, I want to try melding the chain into the ground. Basically like welding it in place.
Yeah.
Doing a Defy Danger Constitution to do my handcrafted with proper time and resources. And that is a 7 for the Defy Danger.
Sorry, I'm just gonna take Dowser's thing here really quick. Yeah. If the tail and like a bit of Carl is still like flapping around. If you go to do this, you can probably like actually make it work, but you're gonna get flapped by the tail. Like it's just swinging around too much. And
yeah, I think it's worth it.
Okay, cool. So you run up and like you're trying to dodge it, but the tail is huge and is like going everywhere, and it is like directly blocking you from getting to the chains. So it swings around and just knocks you one for that's going to be 10 damage, ignore armor.
10 damage, ignore armor.
I'll also take that damage, please, from earlier swallow.
From the earlier swallow. Yeah. I'll roll different damage for you.
Oh no, I had been hurt already. Ooh, Dowser's bad. Oh man. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have done this.
Okay, that's gonna be 12 damage, ignore armor to nail.
I'm still alive.
Did Lupe
barely?
Did Lupe follow?
Lupe did follow Dowser.
And can do the same thing and did?
Lupe cannot do the same thing.
Okay.
And did not.
Cool.
But as you're doing it, Lupe is going like, oh, wow.
Come on.
And she starts like opening her mouth and generating like a flame inside of it, and it's burning like this red hot blue, and then she pinches her lips, like her little lizard lips together, and just starts like and like is spit firing like all of the chains as you are moving towards them to make them more like malleable and like heated up already to help you.
I have a +1 to make that a 9 instead of an 8.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, I have a way to bump that up. Danail is gonna have the passing thought of, I wonder if I could reach my flask, and then light bulb the flask that has oil of Taggart in it. Oil of Taggart, which needs to be ingested to be truly effective, which I have a large fresh batch that I brewed at Garbanzo's place just last night.
Oh.
True.
And I just I probably can't fully do it. So I just slam my hand against my hip where I have these vials and just start like trying to like rub the oil of Taggart into this like saliva and mucus. Because like I'm like in the stomach now, so I'm just getting it all in.
It takes but moments later for everyone on the outside of Carl and even inside of Carl to see the dragon come to a complete halt. And you can hear it snoozing as it falls asleep while it's being chained down by the militia people. Dowser welds the chains to the ground essentially, and suddenly everything is calm.
Can Brenner, as soon as they see Carl kind of lose consciousness and is motionless, Brenner is going to go straight to the stomach and with their halberd slice it open.
William, would you
Yes.
consider the hide and skin of a dragon to be an obstacle that can be?
I would. Are you gonna just?
I'm gonna bend bars, lift gates
Oh
on
my
the dragon
god!
belly with an assist from Brenner. I'm guessing, right?
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
With an assist from Brenner.
Yeah, Brenner can give you an aid.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, Brenner does
Damn.
like the starting slice, right? To kind of I think the word,
It's
like perforate
the incision.
it. Yeah. And
Well,
then you just
yeah,
go.
and I want to say this thing is like,
It's huge, right?
well, it's huge, and also, yeah, I mean, you slash like if you were to slash at it with like all of your might, like,
Mhm.
with your halberd, it's like you're just like breaking through some scales. It's like it would take you some time to like really.
It's like cutting through a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So roll an aid. So +2 with your bond.
Is that just 2d6?
2d6. Yeah. 2d6 +2.
8.
8.
And I got an 11.
Oh, okay,
so,
cool. So you end up with a 12. Yeah. There's no like impending danger or anything, so I'm not really gonna like set that off. But I do want to say, if I remember correctly, the oil tag it like put someone to sleep. And unless it's a light sleep, isn't it?
It's a light sleep.
Okay. So you do your initial like cut in there, Brenner, and then Dindin, what do you do?
So Dindin sees what Brenner is doing and just is like goes into a full sprint, I think. And he drags his knife against the fire to heat it up. And then he tries to make like a quick incision, basically. And is on the damage end, or like how that cut looks for a dragon, I think it's up to your interpretation. But
Yeah.
he's trying to be surgical. He's trying to be in and out as quick as possible to get the nail and save his kids and run to a different dimension, probably. I don't know.
Well, and you rip this open, and like with your bend bars lift gates, and like with the help from Brenner, and as every time you're like making a cut or like anything, you feel like a twitch from the dragon, and like the people over by the closed eyes like are seeing the eyes like move underneath the eyelids.
Mm-hmm.
And it is hard, even with all of your strength and all of the help that you're getting from Brenner, to like get through like the thickness of the hide of this dragon. But the nail, eventually you see light. And it's a small speck of light. And then suddenly it's torn open further. And right there is your father and Brenner just like clamoring to get you out of the dragon.
What's up, gang?
I immediately put hands on Danail.
Danail just kind of immediately just kind of mirrors the motion and just kind of has this glazed over look on his face.
Nice. Let's get out of here.
I would like that, please.
Alright, sure.
And I picture I'm like like it's not a very large incision, so I'm like kind of like squeezing out.
Yeah, and
Please-
you rolled a 10.
Mhm.
2d8 then for the heal.
All right, can I use
Yep.
these?
Of course.
I think it's very Ace Ventura.
Give me a hand. Give me a hand. I was thinking the same thing. Just get me out of here. Please get me out of here.
10.
My
You said?
shoes are melting.
Yeah, heal for
Uh,
10.
And
Danail.
then can I also do the same on Dowser?
You can in a moment.
Okay.
As you escape the body of Carl, like the feeling of you like ripping at the wounds and everything, like suddenly you hear from the head of the dragon, someone go, "Oh, he's waking up! He's waking up!" And Lupe to the side of you, like pushes like some of you and comes over. And is like, "Quick, head towards Novre, head to town, head with us." And Lupe just starts like motioning for all of the militia people to just start booking it back towards Novre. They're all running as fast as they possibly can. Do you all also head towards Novre, or what do you want to do?
Start heading there, but Dowser is not going to like leave the like sight line of Lupe and all the soldiers until they are for sure like on their way to safety.
Yeah, all of the soldiers, I mean, like this was the plan. They're prepped for it.
Mhm.
Like as soon as they get the order from Lupe, they're rushing. Like all of them seem to be like the tail starts to like move back and
Mhm.
forth a little bit, and it's like it's flicking.
Making a little
Yeah.
snow snake.
Yeah, just a little. And then the wings start bracing against the chains that are holding it down to the ground. What do all of you do?
I palm a couple dragon scales that got cut off while they were skipping me, and then I
Oh
fucking
my
book it.
god. Okay.
I'm an
I'm
alchemist by trade.
dragging-
Thank you.
I'm practically dragging Danail along by the coat.
Yeah. By the way, Danail, you can't palm one of the scales. One of the scales is like the size of your torso.
Oh,
Look, Dad, new shield.
no.
Maybe
We're-
I'll learn how to use a shield, Dad, and it will keep me safe.
We're running.
And I will never get eaten again, Dad.
The ground starts kind of like splitting right where the chains were welded in. All of you, are all of you running towards Novre, or
Can I
No,
heal while we
not
run?
yet.
okay? You can heal while you run. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, and that's sort of the same. So I think Dowser wants to be the last one out,
Okay.
just to make sure.
I got a 12.
12 to heal.
Yeah.
2d8 then. This is on Dowser.
Yep. Cool. Oh, sweet. All right.
12.
12.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay.
So that I'm 4 away from max now.
A lot of
Oh,
slots. What are you doing?
I'll do the D8.
William,
Yes.
are you familiar with the concept of the water jet?
No.
Oh.
So when you fire water at an extremely high rate of speed, it can cut through most metal, stone, etc. This thing took Srogi's ability to fly, and I would like to do the same to it.
Okay.
I want to try to perforate its wings.
Using nature.
Are you gonna like have the snow up through it?
Here's what I want to do. Here's my thinking. The first thing I want to do is use my spirit tongue. I've already talked with the pool of life, so there's precedent for me talking with water.
Yes.
And I want to talk to the water in the ground. There's a lot here because it snows quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I want to tell whatever underground aquifers or whatever is around here that it is time to come back to the surface. And it is time to come back extremely quickly and in extremely narrow tubes, cylinders. And I want to do this directly underneath Carl.
Okay. Great.
I love
So, first of all, talking to this, I'm going to roll elemental mastery here, but
Yes.
I think this is the first time that Ladislas is using this on purpose. So here's what I want to propose to you. I'm going to talk to the water first and ask it to do this. And then I'm going to roll elemental mastery, and I'd like to get a +1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Cool. That is a 6 and a 5.
Wait, so 11 plus 4?
11 plus 3 plus 1.
Yeah. Okay. Choose your 2.
I think, well, obviously the effect I desire comes to pass. And I retain control. I understand the pressure that this water is going to be under. And because some of my family are not yet behind the gates of Novre, if any of them were caught in this, they like any like human-sized person caught in this would just be instantly killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I retain control to make sure that it is only surrounding Carl.
Carl breaks free of the chains. As Dowser and Ladislas, you are still like sort of nearby, but like kind of, on your way out along with everyone else. And just as like Carl lifts off to either fly back in for an attack or fly away, this water jets out of the ground and just slashes open Carl's wings. And he collapses to the ground and shrieks an unholy howl that like shakes the ground with the weight of the sound. And he immediately just starts bounding off into the mountains away from all of you. And then you all feel this magic aura pass by you as like a sort of dome that goes all the way to the edge of where the living cave used to be. And you look around and it surrounds Novre in its entirety. And Lupe looks at all of you and goes, "Okay, now nobody can get in." And that's where we're going to take our break. So we'll be back at 9:13. I'm taking like later and later breaks. We're going to have a really short second half, but we'll be back at 9:13. Go get snacks, do whatever you got to do. We will be back.
Cool.
Lupe leads all of you to this Novre. Basically, I mean, like as you're coming in, it is like everything's snow covered. It is so cold up here. Everyone, the militia people and everything, we're all wearing like huge, just completely like packed in fur coats and everything.
Does anybody have spare boots? Mine melted inside the dragon.
Does anybody have a spare for everything?
They get you all settled in pretty good. They get coats and everything. They bring out like basically like a gurney or whatever to help carry Strogi around, a stretcher.
Yeah, Ladislas has just been carrying him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're super respectful about it too. They don't like take Strogi away from you. They come over and they're like, "Hey, we can help carry if you want to put Strogi, or if you want to put your bird, your pet on here or whatever." And even if you had said no or something, they would be like, "Okay, that's cool." That's like,
I think Ladislas will let them put Strogi on the stretcher, but I don't super want to leave Strogi.
Yeah,
so
they'll keep carrying Strogi alongside.
Okay.
And everything. Yeah, they keep leading you through, and basically what you see is just like a bunch of huts. And you can this place is so small, and so kind of desolate that you can count the huts on.
With my glasses, I sure can.
There couldn't be more than 20 of these huts, and they're like a little sizable. It seems like people share housing for the most part in here. But the population of Novre, it would be shocking if it was over 500 people. It's a very, very small amount. The militia people that were doing most of the attacking and everything are going around and helping to now collect the pieces of the broken trebuchets and destroyed catapults and everything. People are going around and gathering as much of the resources that they had used and depleted as possible, and are regathering it to use it again. some of the people are coming out of the homes that were not militia people, and these are, this is like more over like children or people who just didn't necessarily feel confident in fighting or anything. So it doesn't seem like they like forced anybody to do this, to do the fighting. And then Lupe leads you all the way to this extremely small hut that couldn't be more than like for a 1 or 2 people to live in.
I wonder if they're bigger underground.
And that tiny hut is right next to this enormous, pretty well kept tower that's like just covered in snow. Okay, so this is where I live, but I live in this tiny hut. They built it for me when I arrived. But
Is it hot enough in there?
Is it hot enough? Yes, I maintain an eternal flame always and forever.
Oh, good. Because the house is freezing. Like maybe we can go inside. There's some catching up to do. Dowser thinks.
I don't think there will be enough room. Perhaps just for, you and me could be in there, but we can all make our way to the tower if you would like. There's someone here who's trying to meet up with you.
Not a culty person.
The sorcerer Zeal?
Called it.
Maybe quick family meeting at bottom of the tower before we meet Zeal.
Okay. Do you need am I family, or should I?
You've got some of the explaining to do, maybe. Although Dowser knows what you know. If you have business, you can go on ahead. But you're welcome.
Okay.
Right, she's welcome here, right?
I'm going to go talk to the rest of the people who are doing, the protecting, and then I'll come back and meet back up with all of you.
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yep.
Okay.
Anything more, and the town will burn.
I'd like to see you try.
You won't.
Desert, don't burn down. Don't. Be polite.
That's up to her, not me.
And Lupe gives you like a little like. Lupe doesn't have eyebrows, but like, where, like an eyebrow raise, like, hey. Also, I need to make this completely clear. Lupe doesn't have eyelids. And every once in a while, her tongue will go up and like re-moisturize her eyes.
Oh, great. Cool.
And
Do
then
they ever stick because it's so cold? Just
yeah,
like
sometimes, her tongue gets stuck to her eye, and she's like, oh dear. And she just like warms it up and walks away.
Okay, let's go into the tower, and Dowser will catch up. We will go over some things maybe, because there's lots of this happened.
Dowser goes into the tower.
Yeah, same.
You all enter the tower, and at this point, people have come by and like given you coats and stuff to keep yourself a little bit warmer. Inside the tower is pretty comfortable. It's still a little. It's like a touch like nippy. You still have to have your coat on. Just
Coats in my case.
Yeah, but there are fires like all around. This is what it's wide open, and basically this is really similar to the way that Way had their tower, where there's floors and then you can follow staircases up, and there's another floor and staircases up and another floor, like that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. But but the tower seems like not very used. Like it's like if you went to somebody's new apartment and they didn't have furniture and stuff yet. Like maybe they had like an out of place chair and like maybe a mismatched coffee table. That's like what the furnishing in here looks like.
You said there's fires all around. Dowser sits near and if possible in the largest fire that's on like the bottom floor here.
Cool. Yeah, there's like a big fight. There's a fire pit like that was built around stone, just in the center of the room.
Yeah, Dowser just removes his flammables and goes and lays down in there.
I'm gonna whip out a little mini kettle, and hang it over the fire and brew something warm to drink, and probably put a lot of liquor in there. Because I was definitely asking, hey, militia person, do you have any just something a little strong I could drink? Thank you. And just like am clutching like this large bottle.
I think Brenner is gonna find a place just to kind of be a little off from the rest, just to be by themselves. They feel really, really bad, just like with the whole Carl situation. So I think they're just feeling ashamed, almost as if that they don't belong in the group right now. Yeah.
And Ladislas, as soon as she makes sure that Srogi is okay, like I think there's a moment there where she is like just like looking over the stretcher, and just like making sure Srogi isn't gonna like die in this moment, and then kind of sees that there's not really anything she can do, and she just goes over and sits by Danail, and holds her hand out for Danail's tea or liquor or whatever.
It's called a hot toddy. There's a little bit of honey in it.
And she just drinks it down without changing the expression on her face.
Make it a
It's
hot
sweet.
toddy and
It's a
pass it over.
So,
Yes, right. Well, like I said, clearly, there's a lot of questions and things need to be explained. So, Ladislas, what was that bird god king that picked me up? Been no
I'll be
bird.
honest with you. I don't know. It's someone Srogi knows, I think.
Oh. Srogi? Can't talk to Srogi.
And Strogi doesn't even move. Like, yeah, all you're seeing is just like her breath lift and his breath. Yeah, his breath raise and lower and raise and lower.
Well, when he recovers, Les, Dowser would like for the big god bird to be thanked for saving the hero of the world.
Lass just nods her head and says, actually, I'm feeling like he/him pronouns for the moment.
Okay.
okay.
Can do.
Is Lupe grabbing Zeal right now, or is Lupe in the room with us?
No, Lupe is out like checking on the militia.
Okay, cool.
With us, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Then I think a question that we need to pose is, what have we done so far? I think I feel like the plan in the back of our minds has been, we'll just go to all of the towers, and in a way we fall cold, but really what came of it?
Well,
And so we said, here is a destination, and here we are, we're at the tower, but what have we done? What's here that actually tells us what to do?
Lad pulls the two daggers out of her pack, of his pack, and just sticks them in the table in front of him.
So we find a third.
Hold on now. I'm sure you're getting tired of me saying this, but we all very nearly died out there. I think it's time to pull out. We found an army that's very capable of dealing with this thing.
Hard to disagree.
I said, we almost died. We almost got ripped up by their fire.
we almost everything all the time, but we don't. Dad, we're us. And I'm me, and you're you, and we're not.
Dowser, please. Just, I know you want to save the world.
Gonna save the world. There is no want. It's a gonna do situation.
These are trained warriors. A whole lot of them. They blocked the fire when we couldn't.
Dad, I can't ever not. What situation do you think I'm in where I can't bring the fire?
You were stuck in a staring contest and unable to do anything.
No. I was reading her soul. And you know what? Okay, Dowser is known for a while, for some time, that everything, well, to put it one way, everything that Dowser knew was a little bit of a lie, right? There's another Dowser out in the world, and this is a blue one, and came out the first. And I didn't tell you because it kind of turned me upside down, and Dowser's here thinking, well, maybe I'm not even Dowser. But Dad, I looked into her eyes for like forever, and I understand her, and I've never been more sure. You asked her, now, what have we done? We got me here, and she got her here. We're closer than ever, and we're only getting closer. Why would we stop?
I have this rune that Gambador the Grey.
The Grump.
The Grump. Thank you.
Well, he was a little gray. More of a salt and pepper.
All right, all right.
We don't want the title.
It doesn't work now. It would have teleported us to his dimension, but Novray is said to have very magical folk. I propose we fix that and at the very least consider using it. Danae?
I have two thoughts. One, that I can use this. Danae kind of pulls out the crystal, which is kind of been almost, his backpack is almost ripping out the seams. He kind of dumped out, like as the dragon was coming, he was just chucking out all the non-essentials to be able to stuff that in there. I think I might be able to recharge the ring with this. This, in terms of magical batteries, this is with what I'm doing with my sword and the demon, and I think sort of what's going on with those daggers in the cult is there's a sort of transfusion, almost like we know that they're trying to tap into some sort of divine connection, at least with the targets for the sacrifices, I suppose, an appropriate term for those using the daggers. And I think this is sort of using that same sort of process, and he kind of puts his hand on it. But if we use the energy that has been imbued in this crystal, we might be able to extract that in controlled portions, possibly recharging the ring. That said, I don't think leaving will alleviate our issues. I think when we're dealing, I think ultimately, because let's review what we know. Because if we understand that, it sounds like what we've learned about these statues is that they predate all civilization as we know it. So I'm thinking in terms of when we ask ourselves, in the arrangement of planes, like we ask ourselves, where does that portal take you? What is that world? It makes me question the nature of, well, what is our world? And it makes me think that it almost feels like this feels crazy to say it, but it almost feels as if our world was created in tandem with the towers for some purpose. And I don't know if all this is that intended purpose, but what that indicates is that there's someone out there with agency who has had a place in that, and I don't think they're here. But I think there are still, I still think there are questions to ask and be answered here. Okay. I think we need to find out who's in charge of the cult.
That's a good idea.
All right. I will continue to help with these endeavors. Obviously, I can't have you just dying trying. But I do ask you to consider the world includes you and your family, Dowser. And I want you to think about your options. with how to save everybody, including the people most important to you. Maybe that's getting out of here.
There is a possibility that this world that we've known, that Dowser has known, is not all that there is. And it is possible that to save the world, which I will do, might mean leaving the land that Dowser knows. I don't think that this is true. But Dad, you are older and smarter. Well, older is debatable. We won't start on smarter. But you know things that Dowser does not. And if you think that what Dowser needs to do to save the world is to leave this one, just say the word, and Dowser will know.
If the option becomes jump into a portal or be swallowed by a dragon, I will immediately jump in that portal, Dad. I will beg you, I will cut the ring off your finger if I have to. So that's just an option on the table, Dad. But I also think something to consider is that it's a matter of where we go. We'd be going in blind, right? Here, I'm not exactly satisfied with the progress of our investigation. Because I feel like I don't see an end in sight. I don't know the answer to how we stop this yet, but we have more leads here than we have wherever that will take us.
And you start hearing footsteps coming down from the upper levels of the tower. And the first thing you see is the boots. It's this like really ornate white gold trimmed boots, very, very fashionable. Immediately, like you see a cloak, like this royal purple cloak kind of flowing down, gold, like white gold, decorated as well. And this person finishes like walking down completely, and you see this blistering red hair, like neon red, with this streak of just blonde through it. And it's like up and back, like, just completely unnaturally. And
Danail runs his hands through his hair, shifting into the rich, warm tones of autumn with a streak of sunlight going through it, kind of mirroring the look.
And she stops and then dips her head down, like, so that all of for when all of you can see her. So she's like sort of just like holding on to like the upper level, like looking down, and she goes, "Oh, hey, I suppose you're all the heroes then. It's me. It's Zeal. I'm here to talk to you about things and stuff. Do you like the barrier that I made? I've protected us all. Go ahead, give me a little applause. I'm just kidding. I don't need it." And she walks all the way, the rest of the way down. Okay, well, you all look really bad and sad, and I'm sorry for that, but you really did it. You did the thing out there. You did it. You stalled the dragon just long enough for me to get the barrier up. We hadn't expected the dragon to come like so soon. It was like a real...
Sorry, I have to stop you. You've been talking for like 17, 18 seconds, and you haven't addressed Dowser once. You know who I am.
Yeah, no, I know who you are, Dowser.
Oh, that's all I wanted to hear. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, I've got some news. Lupe and I have been working on this stuff for the past couple of weeks, ever since, the portal opened up in the sky. I do need all of you to sort of join me, up on the tower. I need to show you something that came out of the sky. I think it's important. But as I'm doing that, I have a couple of other notes. I was in Evram, and I got a letter from Lupe about almost on 2 weeks ago to come over here immediately, that sort of a thing. So I made my way. Lupe and I kind of go back, so it was an easy task to come over here.
How far back would you say you go with Lupe, the do Lupe?
Oh, well, not terribly far back. If I'm being honest, I don't know. I met Lupe like a year ago, I think.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. Danail and Zeal have met years prior because Zeal used to be a Chimera bastard mage.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull up. Sorry. I don't know if you remember me. But you loaned this to me the last time you were in Syndrol a few years back. And I just wanted to return this to you. It was very helpful. And it's just, one of the number of tomes that Daniel holds on to that he self-taught magics from, that Zeal gave him that little pointer book. And I was like, thanks. It's cool.
Oh, you're the bandit that wanted to do the magic and stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically a band. Bandits are more like countryside.
Dallas is looking at Dad's reaction to hearing Daniel called a bandit very confidently.
Not necessarily. Just because we occasionally engage in banditry, it's more of a highwayman.
Daniel, you're a criminal.
This is not news to you. This is not news to you. You don't mean to.
That you mean a study abroad student?
That's exactly right. Thank you, Dad. For my study abroad years, while I was training to be a good and lawful lawman with the City Watch.
Is this your dad?
Oh no, I'm Dallas. We went over this.
No, I'm not. I'm clearly not looking at you. I'm looking at this hot little.
That hot is me.
This hot little featherless creature over here. Hi, hello. And Zeal comes on over to you. Oh my gosh, it's a good thing they got you a coat. You look like you would be freezing. Are you usually featherless?
I'm Dindin.
Oh, hi, I'm Zeal. Nice to meet you.
I'd give you some bread, but it's all ashes now.
Oh, that's too bad. It's from Way, isn't it?
Are you... Sorry, you're Zeal? You're the person who can help us? Yeah.
I suppose. I'm a sorcerer. I did the barrier. I did all that stuff. I did I also got a letter from Josh, a raven. Not a little while ago.
Oh shit, we left Josh.
Coming here. Oh, I know Josh. I did the tattoo for Josh. I don't know if you know about that. Josh can turn into a chimera. Do you?
We had no idea. That's incredible. Do you think you could touch me up a little bit? This is kind of just a stick and poke.
Oh yeah, I know. I can definitely do that. I also, I can do a lot of things for you transmutation wise. And she looks up, up and down Ladislas a little bit. Okay. But if all of you could really just come up to the roof, I do need to show you this thing. While we are on the way, though, there's a couple of letters that we received for you. I just wanted to pass them along, like the information. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And she starts walking up the stairs.
I want to.
Yeah.
Wait.
Go first, but
I hold up a candle.
I was hoping. Cool. Good. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I won't.
Zeal, can we trust you?
No.
I thought so.
Let's go.
Whoa,
she's a criminal war mage. Of course we can't trust her.
I'm going to help you.
Why can't we trust you?
Well, because if there's a way that I can wiggle some money out of you or something, or sell you out in a non-dangerous kind of way, I'll probably do it if it gives me some benefit.
Dad, let's go through the portal.
Finally.
I want to leave this world.
Is there?
That's very unlike you, Brenner.
Really hit me kind of differently with Brenner, but I need to ask, what's upstairs? Why do you need us to go up with you?
There, the giant portal in the sky. Some fingers came out of it.
Some what?
and you can only see it from the top of the portal because they are over Evram.
Okay, and I put my candle away, and I say, the last time somebody told us to climb a tower, we got kidnapped, and also Ladislas and I got pushed off a building, so not a good experience with towers.
Is there okay? So you put a candle in my face,
Bring it out again, Dad. One more time.
and just to like
Come on,
read,
be cool. Just be cool.
so when lit, none upon whom its light falls is able to tell a lie. They may keep silent or dissemble, but when asked a question directly, they can speak not but the truth. Okay, so that's what you're doing. I mean, really, we can go up and look in a moment at the fingers, like the knuckles that have come out of the sky and seem to be like pulling somebody out of the portal.
Let's not.
Or not. I mean, like, well, I felt like all of you are the ones who are taking care of this, so I.
Towser will look. Didn't bring the candle back out.
The candles.
Well,
going
we're
back
not committed.
Sorry, Chris.
the candle's going back in. Brenner doesn't want to go. We're not going up.
Okay.
I take your word for it. We're just not going up.
I'll
Okay.
go up.
All right. Well, some of you can go up, some of you cannot.
Towser is going up. You'll take Towser's word for it. If you double cross us, you will burn forever.
Well,
Don't
then-
threaten the sorcerer.
It's not a threat. I'm just telling you what will happen.
She's an incredibly powerful war mage.
The note. Then I will tell you the note right here. One of the letters we received was from Wei. It was from King Raquel, which I didn't know that she had become the king. So that was
I anointed her.
That was cool.
Anointed?
Crowned.
Crowned.
I crowned her.
Well, uncrowned.
It said that they were able to take back the city. And when the tower fell, the magic users got their magic back and fought all of the cultists and won. I don't know. It must have been like siphoning their magic somehow, which like luckily that's not happening here.
Free spirit burns strong.
But yeah, they just wanted to pass along that they are doing well. They took everything back, and you saved them effectively. I expected you to die in the living cave, if I'm being honest, but it's good to see that you're all out here. So you really are the real deal. You're heroes. You're very strong, very capable. I know. I mean, like, the dragon's tough. I couldn't fight the dragon. That's why I've been working for 2 weeks on this barrier. I don't know. I tried to do one in Evram as well, but that city's just too big. So I decided if I was going to save one place, here's a good place to start.
William, sorry. Go ahead, Jonas.
No, go. I've talked more than you recently. Go ahead.
I don't know if anyone else, especially like, I don't know if Zeal notices this, but like Lad is like full on crying at this moment. And I think he, up until this point, has like been sitting on the floor, kind of like hugging his legs a little bit. And he stands up and says, You're the powerful mage, right? He kind of like wipes at his eyes.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you heal my bird?
Can I heal your bird? Yes, actually, I probably can.
Would you?
I specialize in transmutation, so I can fix your bird, but I might change the way your bird looks a little bit. Is that okay?
Ladislas is going to ask that question to Srogi.
What do you think Strogi would say?
My inclination is that Srogi would say no.
I can heal without turning Strogi into anything else.
Well, I mean, like I could heal the bird just fine.
So can I.
Okay. Well,
Brenna's very strong.
but looking at it, you're not going to be able to reassemble the wings. So the bird will heal, but it won't be able to fly. I can make it fly again.
Maybe we could just, let Zeal fix the bird, and we could just, watch a master at work. We can just watch and see what she does.
I think a lot of
Zeal actually like smiles for a second and just like looks at all of you, like looks at Brenner, like Loss and Danail and Denden. It's just like, you know what? I'm sensing a little bit of tension here.
I found the dragon.
I got swallowed today.
You did.
I also just met my self-sister.
Oh, Lupe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's been talking about you pretty much nonstop since I met her. So
Dowser.
I'm assuming you're and Zeal like looks at Brenner. I'm assuming you're the chosen one or something.
The chosen one?
One?
I'm
Yes.
just a person.
Just a person or something. Okay, that's fine. Well, you seem very strong. I saw you out there to blast off some sort of divine power against the dragon. First thing I've seen hurt the thing. So you've got something going on. That was pretty cool. All right. Well, if anybody wants to join me on the top of the tower, you can. If you have any final questions.
You're not going to hurt us.
I'm not going to hurt you. Do you want to pull the candle back out? That's one of those truth teller things. Okay, ask the question again.
Dad, put the candle
You're not going to hurt us.
It's very disrespectful.
No, pull the candle out. I'm not going to hurt you. I promise I'm not going to hurt you. I want to help you.
If that is true, Dowser's not going to hurt you either. But Dowser's very protective.
Dowser, I know full well you could destroy me.
You've heard the songs.
Or
have you met me?
I've written some of the songs.
You're right to me. Wait a second. Which ones?
Dowser's like immediately like just 180 like opinion of you right now. Just start like babbling.
I've got my I've actually got my sitar up in my room. I'm living in the tower right now. A wizard in a tower, kind of cliche, I know, but I do love it. I love the elevation. It's already pretty high around here, but it's nice. Leaves me lightheaded sometimes. It's a good feeling.
We should go.
Well, I'm going to stay with Ladislas and Strobe.
Right. You actually used an interesting word back there about the tower and Way siphoning the magic of the Wizards of Way, Verley Place. Sorry, I had to. I'd actually like to show you a few things. But like, can we go check out the roof and talk up there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, anyone who wants to come up can. I'll be back. If anybody wants some sort of like transmutation or something, like I mean, it sounds, Dowser, you said you knew that Josh could turn into a chimera. So if any of you want something like that, it is my specialty. There's a lot of risk involved, so I understand if you don't want to, but
Dowser's no stranger to risk.
And there are also some pretty gnarly side effects sometimes. Like Josh. If Josh exits the chimera form, he's out for a day. A full day. I tried really hard to get it like.
What happens if he were to like become fully crushed by like the earth?
Just hypothetically buried underground.
What would happen then a day later?
The color is like draining out of Lad's face.
I suppose if very, very specific circumstance, but if Josh in chimera form was crushed underneath the weight of like a bunch of earth, he would immediately go from chimera form into Josh form and be unconscious for a day. If the earth around him did not then resettle back on top of his body, he'd be alive and he'd wake up a day later, but he'd probably just be trapped under the ground and then die from, lack of oxygen or something.
Josh got buried by the living cave.
Just got buried by the living cave.
Yeah, we're only pretty sure, but we are pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's too bad. He's really
very sad. He saved our lives at least twice.
He might still be alive. It hasn't been long. We can go take care of this business, and then it's just outside of the barrier. But it seems like what everybody did kind of got rid of the dragon for a little while, so we can we can get a little group together and go see if we can scope him out, if that's something you want to do.
It's not want. We will do it.
Okay, well, anybody who's following me, I'm going up to the tower, and then I'll start putting together like a little tag team of people to, go searching for Josh.
Dowser is going to follow, but in the interest, narratively, sort of like giving Danail and Zeal space, Dowser is like only paying attention to parts of conversations that relate to him, since he knows that Zeal like has written songs about him and stuff. He's really only paying attention to that, so he's probably not really engaged in a lot of the rest of the conversation.
Look at her little baby narcissist.
It's even worse now that there's two of him. And
yeah. Zeal takes you 2. I don't. Nobody else is going up.
Oh.
Ladislaus, Brenner, Dindin. Okay, so Zeal takes you both up to the top of the tower, and you can see out like this tower is a little bit taller than any of the other towers you had been to so far, and you can see like vastly like across a lot of the continent and everything. You can't see all the way to Evram or all the way to even Sindral or anything. You can't like see that necessarily. But the portal in the sky is like so large and like daunting that you do look across, and that is something you can see. And you can see it like just from this tower. You see these enormous knuckles and the ends of like these fingers that are like gripped around the outside of this portal, like pulling on like the sky, it seems. And you can just see tension in them. And Danail and Dowser, while you two are here,
What is that?
You see a little bit of like shaking from the portal in the sky. It's like a fissure almost, and you start hearing almost this like grinding sound, and all of you inside, like, you begin to hear this as well. Just like somebody is like pressing 2 stones against each other as hard as they possibly can and just pushing them.
Seal.
And over the city of Wei, you see fingers start to press outside of that side of the portal and dig, gripped around the side, pressing against the sky there. And then from the direct center, where you would assume over Sindral to be, you start to see something come out of the darkness of the portal, like someone coming into the light from the shadow, and you see a completely dead face of a giant humanoid creature.
It's like the moon crashing down onto Earth.
Sie sind das Essen und wir sind die Jäger.
Seal. Is that a god?
And next time on Hijinks and Dungeon World.
Woof.
Woo!
Cool. Well, thank you, everybody. If this is your first time watching, that was episode 20.
Woohoo!
Hell
So yeah. That was very fun. Very lighthearted episode. A good one.
We only died twice.
Yeah. I'm gonna wrap up some advice. So thank you. Check out the other episodes. It's all on the QueueTimes main YouTube channel. You can find all that stuff. Check out the other QueueTimes shows. All of that. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at KWilliamWhite. I run the show. I run another show called Killer Set, which is a monster of the
Killer
week.
Set.
Monster of the Week I'm trying to do this very quick, everybody. It's a Monster of the Week campaign where I take real live musicians and bands, and I have them play musicians and bands in Monster of the Week that have to solve mysteries and fight monsters in order to play their gigs. So the first episode premiered last Wednesday. That episode is out on the QueueTimes main YouTube channel right now. It is called Killer Set. It stars Pink Shift, the band. They were the first band to do this, and it was a two-parter, so we're wrapping up their episode tomorrow. So you have time, you can catch up, and you can watch live 6 p.m. Pacific. Tomorrow, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we'll be wrapping that story up tomorrow. Very excited for that. I'm also on a Pathfinder 2nd Edition stream called Court of Corvids on Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
I'm on that too.
Pacific. And yeah, Jonas and I are on that together. We play a married couple, also fiancés, and it's great.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you, everyone.
I've been Jonas. You can find me on Twitter at Jonas Newhouse. You can also find the band that William and I are in together at Glass Beach Band across all social media. We have some new merch out right now on our web store, which is shop.glassbeach.band. And we have a new song coming out on, is it Friday, William?
Yeah.
On Friday.
I think so.
The 30th, or it's the 31st, isn't it?
No, isn't it the...
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't
Maybe
know.
it is the 31st.
I'll start with Friday.
No, it's
so
Friday.
Friday, we're playing a show in Minecraft.
Yes.
We're playing part of the Hyperspace Festival. It's a really awesome lineup. It's Friday and Saturday. We're ending on Friday. Saturday ends with Floral Tattoo and Left at London. And there's like a close to a dozen other artists playing as well. Very cool. It's going to be live streamed. It's going to be, you can attend in Minecraft. If you have Minecraft, we've tweeted about that. So definitely, if you are interested in that at all, check that out on Friday. Glass Beach streams as well. Twitch.tv/GlassBeachBand. We'll do Overwatch tomorrow, Toontown Tuesday on Thursday, and other things as we do them.
Cool. Hi, I have been Spencer LaBelle playing Danail. You can find me on Twitter at SpabelleVO. You can find me on Instagram at Splubble, which is like bubble with a spla, SBLUBBLE. Thank you.
Hi, I've been Sam Richardson. You can find me on Twitter at Laggardson, LAGGARDSON. You can also find me co-producing Killer Set.
Yes.
I almost said Monster of the Week. It's so good, y'all. I'm so excited to be back helping produce some monsters and be, helping make that show happen. It rules. Go check out the first episode. Get excited for the second episode. It's going to be amazing. And William and I already have some other hunts planned for future bands that are going to knock your socks off.
Hunts planned for future bands.
Hunts band for future plans.
I've been Franny Morrison playing Brenner, and you can find me on the social media platforms at just Franny K, and that's JUST_FRANNIEK.
And I've been Chris playing the not dead pelican fighter daddy Din Din. You can find me and my stuff at Tanimato. I do animation, and just recently we Glass Beach collaborated with me and some other animators to make the Calico music video. Please go watch that. It's on Glass Beach's YouTube channel.
Well, it's on Run for Cover's YouTube channel.
Oh, Run for Cover. Thank you. Yeah.
Run for Cover Records.
It's Chef Kiss.
It's amazing. Chris did an incredible job. Man.
Yes, agreed.
So William.
Watch it 10 times.
Oh, yeah.
Watch it
Okay,
12
cool.
times.
Thank you, everybody.
Watch
Tell
it
people about the show and
12
also
times.
all the other shows. And we'll see you next Tuesday and hopefully before then. But next Tuesday, we will continue this show, 7:30 p.m. Pacific on QueueTimes Twitch channel. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Good night. Wear a mask.